So I've made an interesting discovery recently. Apparently I'm cursed. Unbelievably, unimaginably, unfathomably cursed. I, uh, I saw on the LFG channel that, oh, we need one more person to play this game on this dedicated server. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of casting. I would love to play a game. So I turn on my Nebulous, load up all my mods, go through the whole song and dance. And hop in the game, and that slot's been filled. And now I'm casting, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just back out and like do something else. Oh, but the passion, it takes me. I must watch games and give them to the people. So we're here on the Maw. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP. 3 points. I've never seen this map before. I've never been to this map. Looks like a hell of a knife fight. A more brutal knife fight than Cicada even. Fewer open lines. But it's just clustered extremely tightly. So yeah, I hope everyone brought their short-range weapons and their SRMs. Because you're gonna need it. We got Terralinks, who's been here before. I think Nocturnal has been... No, because that guy's a midshipman. B Lightning 420, I think I've either played with or he's been here before. And I don't know which it is. Dropping down with the OSP team, which I'm a little concerned about this. So this is a missile solo. I'm also very concerned about this map. I have a feeling that due to the close ranges and the tight quarters, people are going to be track firing their missiles into the wall. Mysterious Mushroom bringing not only a missile solo, but a single missile Ocello with nothing but missiles except for a few rebounds and a blanket jammer. Got VLS2s, got VLS1s. What is this? 192. Oh, and his single slots are full of decoys and I was really hoping he was gonna be bringing combat missiles in the slot ones. Oh my, look at all the voxels on the ANS team. What is that? That's very exciting. Nina, is that a container ship? It is, and he's already firing. Oh boy, mine container. Okay, that's less exciting. Speaking of, turn that on so I can see that. How many mine containers you bring in, Haas? Whole lot. You know my opinion on mines. And if you don't, I think they're bad. I think mine containers don't get used very well. I think laid mines can be used quite effectively, but mine containers... They always wind up in the open because they'll explode outwards from the container a good distance. And, I have no idea what this means. I need to go through these and not stop ranting about mines. We got Anahiha. Very cute. With a scout over here in the container ship. We got mass drivers in these bulkers. Plus bastions for defense. Tugs with bloodhound radars, and then one EWR. Man, that is a lot of sight coming off of those. That's actually really clever, except if these have no PD on them, so they're pretty easily destroyed. If one ARAD comes at any of these, they're just dead. Terralinks in here with an Ocello anchor. Bastion, EWR. Nipple guns, jammers, T-20s. Pretty well-rounded fleet out of Terralinks. Got some gun scouts. I think I've seen that fleet out of him before, in fact. Although, I guess if you do constant... See, like, what are these gonna do? What are these gonna do? What are these... Wait a minute. Is that a tactical? Yeah, oh, the tactical view doesn't have all the whooshy stuff on the rocks. That's a shame. What are these gonna do? Something's gonna come through this here, see these, and then just blow them out of the sky. They're never gonna hit anything. They're also too far back. They're too far back. What ANS player is going to be inside of the OSP's spawn? Maybe if you dumped them right on Charlie, but... Alright. Bee Lightning with missile voxels. Mark IIs. About to murder my cat because she's screaming for no reason. Whole bunch of Mark IIs. And it looks like they require illumination. Oh boy, I hope for his sake they don't. That's a lot of Mark IIs to manage with illuminators. Plus you've got the problem of you kind of have to direct fire or near direct fire illuminators. And this is like, oh god. I really wish I was playing this map and brought a container ship. This is a container ship's dream. Because look at all this cover. Look at all this cover. You can just sneak things around and surprise! Right behind them. Oh, the violence, the blood. We got another missile team? No. Fighting voxel. Fighting voxel already engaging, in fact. Pair of scouts. Trio of fighting voxels. No scouts, no intel. Oh, actually not a trio. 2 fighting voxels escorting a missile voxel? That's new. Okay, so he's like guns and missiles. I like this. This is weird. This is very weird and I like it. Claim missiles and guns. What you bringing, big boy? Thunderheads. Everybody loves the Thunderheads. And then a combat voxel. Not bad. And these mines are just going to be visual puke. Look at that. Look at that. Freaking turn the thingy on. Nah, whatever. I'm going to ignore it. I don't care. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. No, it doesn't bother you either. While we were doing the intro, OSP have taken a point, ANS has taken a point, and both teams are contesting over C, which is kind of weird considering Charlie's the OSP natural. No. Charlie's in the middle of the map. Yeah, don't ask me to commentate your children's birthday party. I'll laugh at them when they inevitably bonk their head on a doorknob. Waiting for Tyler Links to tell me what his deal is. I hope he isn't hurt by that. You never know how someone's gonna respond online. Take great joy in being a terrible human being because I am a terrible human being and I kinda don't care. I'm too old to care about such things. Better ask him. Alright. He track fired his missiles, but it worked out anyways. Or maybe not. Yeah, he actually definitely didn't track fire those missiles. He snaked those up and around. He still ran some into a rock, but it killed the target. So that's a W. That's a W. The odds. I have no idea what he's talking about. The odds of what? The match just started. Or tell me the odds, kid. Hit him with a Star Wars quote. Oh my. 2,427. Mysterious mushroom having problems with his missiles. Pretty sure that's 3PO's number. I could be wrong, I'm just remembering that off the top of my head, even though it's been like, what, 3 years since I've watched the trilogy? Oh god. What have I been doing? Not watching Star Wars. Oh, how will I survive? So we got rock containers coming in here, which, yeah, is a nice try. But there are two problems with the rock containers. One, they like to miss, because they don't track for the last stage. And two, they're pretty weak to point defense. And we saw both things happen. The ones that were close enough to kill got cleaned up by point defense. And the ones that weren't just missed. What is going on over here? Are these guys in a little bully match? One's just pushing the other one around. This is pretty funny. Uh-oh, what are these? What are those? There's a whole bunch of Mark IIs. Just basic bitch Mark IIs coming out of 2 voxels. Oh, I like this. I like this. This guy's in trouble. This guy's in huge trouble. He just brought some rebound. Well, rebounds are what you want against S2 spam. This might actually work out. I don't think it's gonna work out. He's gonna dip behind the rock. All the missiles are gonna go to the rock. Ah! Oh, no. Ooh. Absolutely saved by the rock. The rebounds killed. One got through, but it clipped like up in here, and those didn't do anything. Of course, we got more Mark IIs coming in. Those are not going to get hit by the rock, but they are going to go down too low to hit this ship. What are the chances? This is the best motherfucker in the universe. This is the luckiest motherfucker in the universe, I should say. Look at him go. Just unbelievable. How many munitions did that cost this guy? Wow. Wow. That's 20% of his total munitions just into the rock and out the back end. Gotta factor in rocks. Gotta factor in missile speed. This is why containers are so hard to use, because you never know. You have to, like, preempt where people are gonna go in, 3.5 hours from now, because that's how freaking long it takes for containers to get to target. Was someone bringing mass drivers that I missed? Oh, right, this guy. No. Where's your friend? This guy. No. Bulker. This guy. And this guy. On a map like this, you actually kind of want the mass drivers to be pushed up and fighting with the fleet, although I guess the fleet isn't really fighting. They're all backed off. And fighting with the fleet. So that, speaking of things that don't need to be where they need to be, this should not be pushed up. This should actually be back, since its primary combat system is missiles. Wow, speaking of missiles, whole bunch of containers going into this voxel, killing it immediately. There's a lot going on this map. It's very high paced. Oh, let me... some extra, a little bit of a waste here. Some extra missiles going after that. And, he's getting defeated. These mines, yeah, so that's dead. If these voxels just push forward into the minefield without carefully cleaning them up first, some of these might get through the point defense if they go far enough. Oh, yeah, there's one. And one's all it takes. Look at that damage. I doubted the mines. I still think this is an objectively bad position to put them. It's just working out because this voxel team is playing in an equally objectively bad way. So, hey, a bad idea that works is, well, it's still a bad idea, but at least it worked, eh? Or something like that. More missiles going into a dead ship. He's dead! Please stop bullying the dead people. Oh, man, if he could have timed this to go with the mines, oh my. That would have been a point defense overwhelm, and the Mark IIs probably would have been prioritized, and mines could have slammed into these ships doing astronomical damage. Look at this! This is the stupidest build in the universe, and it's working against voxels with good point defense. Has my life been a lie? I thought bulkers with roll-offs were the way to do it, but apparently, no. The way you play missiles on the OSP is to just be the ANS ship with the ANS missile mounts. Who knew? Who knew? Blizzard! Balance it! I don't know where these are going now. Is he firing? Way back here, going through 2 nets of PD? That's bold.
That's too bold, and it's almost worked. It almost worked twice. Oh my. More hits on these Voxel. This Voxel team in the middle getting absolutely obliterated by containers, and we saw one round of mass drivers go before, and now we've got another one going in, and it's just, look at the damage, look at the damage. And here, Terralinx was worried about odds. Yeah, you did rush too hard, but look at what you did. You were the main reason this fleet got killed. I say that's a win. You definitely pushed too hard in a missile ship. I'm gonna... Frickin' missile Ocello. What? The OSP has so many options for missiles. So many unique, special, different options. And this guy's like, I don't need all that crap. I'm just gonna play ANS missile voxel submarine. Yub nub. And it worked! Why did it work? Oh. I'm very displeased at how fantastically that worked. God damn it. Because now I have to make one of those. Right? I really like the OSP format, and I like bulkers, and I like the roll-off missile spam. Oh man, those can be an absolute menace. But this? I want it. I want it. I want one, please. One, please. Deliver to my doorstep. This is coming after these shuttles. Couple hits. Wait, that whole... I should have been playing Spikers Inbound during that whole thing. I was too enamored with that. I mean, it's too late now, obviously. But we're gonna listen to it anyway because it's a good song. Okay, so while all that was going on middle, Depot is over here dropping some missiles down. The OSP team is back here, just kind of chilling. But that's not what I wanted. Hello? Hey there. Just kind of chilling back here. And Terralinx also just a little afraid to push in, which is unfortunate. I think if you had supported this thing with guns, it could have done more. But I'm betting he got all his payload out. I guess that's the rub, right? That's the cost, is that you can't bring as many missiles as you can fit into a magazine. But the flip side is you can make them nice and expansive. Nice and expensive. You also get the defensive capabilities of an Ocello, because I'm going to be real, bulkers are pretty friggin' fragile. I love the bulker, I really do. But it's real wimpy. It's got firepower at the wazoo. God damn, it just dies. Yaps. Look at the mass drivers go crazy. More missiles, more missiles, more missiles directly into this container ship. Now, if there's one thing you don't want eating missiles, it's containers. I think these are the Illuminator voxels, unfortunately. And, yeah, no Illuminators is going to mean those are just going to swoop into the abyss, and one or two locked into land. What is on this? Hold on. Why? Why? I mean, I guess if you don't... If you're not gonna put missile banks there, you might as well put PD, but... Why would you do this? speaking of missiles, he's out. Now think how much more damage you could have gotten down the field if instead of the very expensive mine containers, you brought the very cheap but highly effective normal containers. Oh well. The voxel team backing off. Probably a good idea. The whole OSP fleet is back in their spawn. I don't know why they've been hanging out back here and haven't been aggressive. Especially with friggin' Missile Maniac over here charging ahead. These are all going for the chaff, aren't they? This is a dead ship. That is a dead ship that has been fired at. Whoops. Oh, one might get through. No, it's gonna get killed by defenders. No way. Yeah. And things are cooling down a little bit. I got a new fleet to play with. All right. That is not something I had even considered. Aw, is Bee Lightning really just gonna tap out like that? Bro, you had missiles. His illuminators were down. Yeah, that's another problem with bringing illumination missiles. Is, if that illuminator goes down, womp womp. All the, ordnance in the tubes can't be used. I really don't like illuminators. One of my buddies is addicted to them, to offset scouts and illuminator missiles. Of course, he was addicted to them back when it was ANS versus ANS. He doesn't really use them that much in ANS versus OSP, partially because he usually plays OSP. And doing the offset illuminator / scout thing with semi-actives it's a little more complicated in that matchup in either direction. Just because it's a different game now. I mean, this is proof of that. Look at all these voxels. Once upon a time, voxels were not that popular. And it wasn't that long ago. But when the OSP dropped, voxels took center stage because they're fast and they can fight well. They can keep pace with the speedy OSP ships. But they also have some pretty powerful melts. They don't have the firepower of the Solomon or the Axford. But that doesn't matter. When you've got the speed and the adaptability of a voxel. They were also super popular because of their ability to dodge, but fortunately that was removed, more or less. Because that was kind of ass. Just for everybody involved. It was annoying to have to use to get the most out of your ships. And you can still present low profiles to the opponent and wiggle back and forth to make it yourself difficult to hit. But there's a difference between that and like actually truly watching munitions come across the field and physically dodging them. Which is just... it's not fun. It's not fun for anybody. I don't know, I'm sure someone out there had a good time with it. That's really ass to be like, well, why am I using bullets at all if you're just gonna walk out of the way of them? The depot over here, trying to get in close, get some things done. Crazy Gouda and this ship are the only two left on the field for the AS team. Mushroom's been taken down, but the OSP's in pretty good shape overall. Unfortunately, this has spent all of his offensive capabilities, so I guess maybe they're even-ish. Because the mass drivers, I mean, they deal damage. They definitely deal damage. Just not as fast as these gunships. Terralynx' ships are also in pretty bad shape. Boom. Perfect. Awesome. Alright. Just send me that fleet. Okay, apparently, so I've got Discord on my other monitor. So sorry if I haven't been paying enough attention to this for y'all, but at this point it's kind of, we're in the closing moves. So I'm not too worried about it. Maybe it's a little unprofessional, but hey, guess who pays me? No one, so eat a dick, I do this for fun. Why am I yelling at people who don't exist? Apparently Mushroom Mancer, or Mysterious Mushroom. Why did I use a Monster Hunter? Oh, I was really hoping that was going to blast in on this wall. And I had someone to yell at. Is a complete freshie. Just a brand new guy. Because of course he is. Look at his build. It's completely absurd. It's not meta at all. It isn't burdened by the weight of knowledge. The limitations of the thought of the Discord and the community have not crossed this man. He's completely free to make the most insane and pretty good, actually, build that he wants. Oh, man. Yeah, why can't the, I think the OSP should have hybrids. I think that's what would really make things fair. Yeah, the SLO should be able to have hybrids. I do. That is probably the biggest thing I miss about playing OSP is no hybrids, because I really like sprinters. S3H is my love. I kind of miss the old days of ANS versus ANS and bringing voxels full of S3Hs and then just slaying, and I mean slaying. Solomons with Auroras. How did you do that? Well, clever positioning. Because hybrids are a lot like containers in that way, that they really demand good positioning. I mean, you can just, they're more forgiving of just firing off at people, but if you're really clever with them, nothing beats them. Nothing beats them ever. Which is why it kind of makes me sad when people track fire their hybrids and they have weave on them and the hybrid misses, and it's like, man, if you, or like 3/4 of the volley gets eaten by PD. Like if you made that missile a little more expensive, well, and you don't even need to do that actually, because the main stage is always the same, no matter how you tweak it. So you just increase the burn distance, burn time, and do some crazy loop around rock strats, and you just get up people's tailpipe over and over and over again. And guess what point defense can't shoot through? An entire freaking engine block. And they're dead, and they're dead, and they're dead. And it's just, oh, it's so satisfying. Maybe I need to start playing ANS again. It's harder to do that against the OSP, though. It is. It really is, because you get things like this. You're never going to hit this in the butt. Ever. And even if you do, it doesn't matter. Both point defense slots can fire backwards. The only thing you can hope to abuse is the Ocello, but the Ocello has a PD mounts that can fire backwards as well, without too much issue, because they don't have the dump truck asses. All the OSP ships are like that. Bulkers, the container ships, they have point defense that can fire backwards because their engines aren't as big relative to their main chassis as the ANS engines are. Like Vauxhalls or like Axfords. See how much bigger that is than the main chassis? That's why getting containers behind people can be so powerful. Because you just literally can't shoot through this, which, you know, obvious, duh. I think that's going to be a W for the OSP. Because they can just cap all the points. And gun these fools down. Good is just staying back here, which is unfortunate that he hasn't been playing with his team. I mean, he's got a few ships up here. But for the most part, he's been staying way, way far back. My game volume isn't right, and my music volume is good. Game volume needs to be higher now. So we can hear missile impacts, and that, of course. And also call-outs. I need to start taking breaks in between casts. I can tell that I'm already like way more energized than I was in the last few casts I've done today. Just because when you sit and cast for like 9 hours straight, your brain starts to go numb, I guess. Which, obviously, same thing happens when you read, same thing happens when you write, same thing happens when you do anything for that long, really. Your brain's just like, okay, I'll keep doing this, and if your weird-ass, autistic, fucking neuroses want to keep doing this, we'll keep doing it, but I'm gonna do it at like half steam. Hold on, that might be too loud. That's not bad. Oh yeah, this is much better. I've been missing those sounds the past few casts. And I'm sure you have too, viewer. I've just been so addicted to the music. This is exactly what you do. See, this. Here we go. Here we go. Here's a player. Thank you, Anahiha. This is exactly what you do when you've yubbed all your nubs. Or when you've nubbed all your yubs. Both of those. You take your container ship, you take your missile ship, and you just fly it towards the enemy. And you say, hey, shoot at me, don't shoot at my friends. You'd be amazed how much of a help that is. It's not going to get you any damage numbers. It's not going to make your score look more impressive. But you're adding to the game so much more than if you just dip out immediately. Like certain other people in certain very recent videos. Don't fucking do that, man. It's also infantile and rude. If these mass driver ships need to get in there and start like fighting. Actually getting over here and gunning down this Axford is also a pretty good use of that. But, like this ship, fly it down in here and just start boxing Vauxhalls. Will they lose? Yes. But they'll be supported by these other ships, and be able to deal some real good damage and be in people's face, and which is very frightening. Just being surrounded by the little red contacts on the screen. For those of you who watch these but don't play the game, and those do exist, which surprised the hell out of me when I discovered there are a few people, well, there's at least 2 people who have watched my videos but do not actually play the game in a multiplayer fashion. And one of whom does not play the game at all. He does not own Nebulous or play Nebulous. Just likes these. I don't know how you got here, but thanks for being here, and I really appreciate the views. Anyways, when you're surrounded... See, here we can see what everything is and who's what, and it's a really nice little UI, right? You know what's going on. You know exactly how much danger a given ship is, because I can go over here, and I can see what you've got. And, oh, this guy's kind of beat up, so he's not as much of a threat to this team as they might expect. Thing is, this guy can't see that. And this guy can't see what he's got. They can't see each other's internals, and they're probably close enough for visual contact now. But if you're far enough away, all this guy sees over here when he's on this screen is a big red thing that he's not 100% sure of what it can do. And when you're surrounded by big red things, it's kind of terrifying. War is a very confusing and frightening business. So if these mass drivers come up here and push these ships, even though it's usually not a good idea to bring your mass drivers to a front line because that's a good way to get them knocked offline, that could frighten these ships enough to push them off of the point. You gotta remember that Nebulous is a game, of course, but it's also heavy on the simulation. Heavy enough that abusing mind games like that can be very effective.
The enemy is securing zone.
Very effective. Especially in games
We are contesting zone
that don't have a bunch of golds in them.
The enemy secured zone boxer.
People who are very able, who've got enough time on this game that such things won't bother them. They've become inured to that sort of harassment. Come on, kill this ship, and you can take Charlie. Oh, what? Yes! This container ship not only went, ooh, look at me, I'm a container ship, please shoot at me, but when these voxels switched on to fighting the real threats, he capped the point! Which is a huge deal! That play right there might have just won OSP the game. That's why you stay in the fight when you've fired all your missiles. Even an empty ship is still a ship. You still have a piece in the battle space. And you can get it done. Get it done, Commander. I wish I could mimic the mimic voices better. I was attempting to do the UNS's main liaison from Supreme Commander. But I definitely didn't come anywhere close to that voice. Okay, well, my headset died. So apologize for all the minutes and seconds or however long you've been sitting here not listening to my beautiful voice. Probably because I've been using the damn thing for the past 2 days almost straight without charging it at all. No. Cat's messing with the cable. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Those mass driver ships getting in here and getting into the fight. It's exactly what we needed. Glonk. We, he says. No bias. No bias. Truly unbiased casting. Look, I'm on whoever's side is causing the most destruction. And right now, that's the OSP team. Look at all these dead ships. Look at them. It's a veritable graveyard. What is this shooting at? Oh, he's shooting at the dead ship. Is he gonna... Oh, he thinks this is the one that's capping! No, it's this one, you silly, silly boy. Oh my. This dude has stayed in the game and just kept this point on lockdown for so long. I can't believe it. I can't believe no one has decided to fire at this. Oh, here we go. Here's one.
The enemy is securing zone common.
Oh, and I think he punched the cannon off of him. Yep. That means these ships are going to be able to cap. And that's... I think that's a pretty sure OSP victory. Yeah, crazy Gouda. Fighting like hell. MVP of this game, no question for the ANS. Just staying in the game and dishing out the pain. Holding on so hard, desperate, praying that they'll never notice the ship.
The enemy secured zone common.
Seriously. Mad respect. Staying in. When all the cowards had abandoned the field of battle. Crazy Gouda stays in. Yeah, like this guy. Come on, man. He didn't need to leave. They really did. Those mass drivers did an absurd amount of damage. Even against voxels, which is saying something. Usually, I have so many problems when I'm using mass drivers against voxels. I can never get them to land reliably. I also tend to overpin. But yeah, even with this team full to the brim of voxels. Alright, buddy, time to surrender. Nice. GG! Alright, let's take a look here. Be Lightning! No, we gotta look at the winners first. Mysterious Mushroom, 8k damage. Honestly, less than I was expecting. A lot less than I was expecting. I figured he'd have like 15 or 16 with how many hits these things landed on those voxels at middle. 11 out of the container ship. That's painful. See, that's another number that I thought was really just going to be higher. I really did. He didn't do amazing with the containers, as you can see. Jesus. But still had some really good hits on the middle. Oh my fucking god. Alright, worship this man. Everybody worship this man. It's 50,000 damage with 8 mass drivers. What the fuck? Yeah, Terralink sees it. I've never seen that. And I have a mass driver fleet just like this. And I feel like I'm pretty good with it. But, yeah, oh my god. I'm pretty happy if I break 30k. I'm extremely happy if I break 30k with the mass drivers. Fucking Christ, the Bears. Good work. So we all know who the MVP of the OSP team is. Nasty, absolutely killing it. Those are some nasty numbers is what that is. Good showing out of Terralinks as well. Yeah, no one on this team was really just not pulling it. Well, I guess Mushroom. But I still think he did a good job. Even though his damage was low, I still think that was a good job. Yeah, B-Lightning not really doing anything with those semi-actives, unfortunately. I think he's having issues with his Illuminators. Which is unsurprising. Illuminators are a giant pain in the ass to use. Crazy Gouda. Just stayed in the match. 22k out of that. Respectable. Not amazing, but respectable. Decent work out of Nocturnal as well. Again, not amazing, but respectable. And, oh. That's a little painful. I think one of these others belong to Ugin as well. Maybe not. It's extremely painful. Okay, that has been the video. If you enjoyed, good. Great. Thank you. I'm glad you had a good time. I know I certainly did. If you'd like to participate in viewer games or get notified when I'm doing this sort of thing, I've got a Discord link down in the description below. That's what I do with that right now. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it over the long one. Probably just that. Setting up meets and games through there. It's a chill little hangout place. Nothing too wild and crazy. And that's the game. See ya, Space Cowboy.